whenever you cannot hear somebody say something, you huh?
TheSmartLocal.com.
Alright. What do you think is something very Singaporean?
Okay, I think what's very Singaporean is that everybody's mother tongue is not very good. Although we learn it in school, and we are very good at English, but yeah, I don't think I've met someone who's very fluent in their mother tongue.
Just the way that Singaporeans talk, but I think it's just the way that we pronounce certain things or like the intonation of our sentences.
So the way we say like la, lo, sia, and just the way we speak. Sometimes the formation of the sentences is also just very uniquely us.
I would say it's the consistent use of
Singlish. I think I was at a night market in Taiwan last year and suddenly I heard some guy saying, "Wow, this egg pancake damn shiok." And I'm like, oh, Singaporean.
I think Singaporeans speak very fast. I think sometimes when we talk to foreigners, we will have to slow down quite a bit for them to understand.
How we have very customized ways of ordering kopitiam drinks.
The phrase or these 3 words, what you want. Basically, when you go to any shop, they will either say, what you want, date nak apa, niao semua. All of them mean the same thing and they use the same 3 words. But yeah, the funny thing is, no matter what race you are, and no matter what this language the auntie or uncle is saying, you totally know what she is saying or he is saying.
You know when you go to the coffee shop, then when someone randomly just say 后面烧, and then you know that you got to get out of the way, and it's usually something cold instead.
Of course, the discount or the cashback.
The more discounts, the better.
Even just 20%, 10% sale, there'll be long queue outside a shop.
I think something very Singaporean would be people like to carry the paper bunny bag.
Every Singaporean girl out there has either a paper bunny or a BTV bag.
Planning, the whole table having to plan what they want to eat before they order something.
We all share the same love for our culture, our food.
the food, Singapore style Hokkien Mee.
Bak chor mee.
Our love for Cai Fan.
I feel like what makes Cai Fan dishes good is that they don't seem like they're trying very hard and it looks very home cooked.
Chicken rice, chili crab and durian.
Something that is very Singaporean is having mala for lunch. I hear this every other day lah. Guys, what y'all want to eat? Then they act surprised oh mala, oh my god, I also want!
You go downstairs, you see a makcik downstairs and you buy food from her, she'll treat you like a son.
When I see all the uncle, aunties, all hanging around there, drinking kopi early in the morning, yeah, it's just Singaporean to me.
I think it's the convenience that we have. Where else in the world can you go out in the middle of the night, get food within walking distance?
Something very Singaporean is chopping the tables.
You just put something there, nobody will take that seat. I will say I do that very frequent as well.
At the hawker center, that giant table and it's just one tissue paper.
I use my phone to chop table.
Actually, sometimes I see valuables because I think people just take Singapore's safety for granted.
One thing that makes us very Singaporean is always asking what makes us Singaporean, and it's always a BTO, chopping, Singlish. So I think it's the constant search for our own identity.
One very Singaporean thing would be wearing our school t-shirts to sleep or even just going out. I think that's a very common sight.
In Singapore, you can casually mix dialect, Hokkien or Teochew, and Chinese, Malay, or into English or into one sentence. And most people would still roughly understand what sentence you're trying to say.
I think something very Singaporean is our ability to make sentences very, very short.
With this Singlish language, it's so efficient. We managed to finish saying what we want to say in 1 or 2 phrases.
Whenever you cannot hear somebody say something, you huh?
How people pronounce the word colleagues. So they will say colleagues.
There are also things that you can just imply certain meanings using just one word, like can.
All the aunties and the uncles, they will be like, excuse me.
The word
oi. Can lah, cannot.
Diam diam.
La, le, eh, that kind of thing.
Whether people bump into you, you bump into people, you also say oi. You want to call people, you also say oi. People call you too loud, you're not happy, you also say oi.
Because it's quite recognizable, especially in
anytime I'm overseas.
You can just hear people talking really quickly and then you just know it's Singaporean.
It feels more homely.
And then you'll feel a sense of familiarity.
People like to say Singaporeans
complaining.
I think I complain a lot also.
They blame everything on the weather.
Some other countries has better weather. Singapore is just purely a bit hot.
how pampered we are and how entitled we are.
It will be kiasu. That's very, very Singaporean.
I'm super kiasu.
In a way whereby we love joining.
Long queues.
We love to queue a lot.
Even if we see a queue and we don't know what it is about, we just queue.
It could be for food. You go Johor, or when you come back from Johor.
Maybe they just don't want to miss out on the hype, or maybe it's a good deal that they don't want to miss out on.
I think in general Singaporeans are very kanchiong.
Aunties or uncles, when they hit the MRT seat after someone gets up before they sit down, it's a very Singaporean thing.
The moment the plane touches down, people are already standing up and you know that you're home because everyone is rushing to get their bags.
I think number one thing that I can think about is when you take the MRT, is the doors closing. Now before the train come, is the dun 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 dun.
Hoarding concert tickets, like Singaporeans tend to buy a lot of concert tickets and resell them for higher prices.
What is uniquely Singapore is when a bunch of guys come together and they talk about their NS experience.
Being nonchalant or like just not caring about things in public places is like very Singaporean. Because like when you see something that's out of the norm, you don't really react much, just go about your day.
People are almost always looking on their phones.
Standing in front of the escalators and discussing where to move ahead.
The fact that Singapore is really very clean. We don't dare to break rules.
That we've all been trained to return our trays.
There's something that's very Singaporean is Stephen Lim.
Star Wars show. Oh, okay.
If you don't know Home by Kit Chan, are you really Singaporean?
What I think is very Singaporean is
being very judgmental.
Judging people based on where they are in their lives.
From the time that we're kids, our parents always want us to be like first in class.
There was always this pressure to achieve XYZ before you're perceived as successful.
We're like optimistic, but also very, very realistic and aware of the things that we're trying to achieve.
I think something that's very Singaporean is wearing slippers to every single occasion. So I wear slippers today.
Something I think is very Singaporean is like talking about BTO during lunchtime. I hear people talk about BTO every day.
I think being stressed is very Singaporean. Maybe the S in Singapore stands for stressed. When I engage in conversations, sometimes when I just reflect on my own life, stress seems to be the number one word that keeps coming up.
Something very Singaporean would definitely be the ooh, but the ooh.
Something that's very Singaporean is the Garanguni uncle coming around your block.
I feel that we are quite protective of our reputation and our pride. Only we can say we are not good.
When other people who complain about it, we defend it to its greatest.
Suddenly we're all ready together. I said like, no, what do you mean? Singapore is very good.
Thank you for watching this episode of 99 Singaporeans. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Ring the notification bell and watch our other videos over there. Bye.